This podcast is brought to you by Mapper Forward's new Patreon community, the Global Coffee Think Tank. Check the show notes or head to patreon.com/mapperforward to find out how you can become a member today. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 5 of a series that we are doing with the fabulous Jibbi Little, the developer of the world-renowned JIBBIJUG. And in previous episodes, we were talking about how the JIBBIJUG was developed and where the idea came from. We've spoken about how we've gone to market. We've talked about the challenges of starting an e-commerce store and having to adapt to things like, really expensive shipping and currencies and all of that fun stuff. Then we started talking about the darker side of what Jibbi's had to experience, which is the evolution of people copying her products and the fakes that have been out there. So today we want to talk about what happens when somebody buys a fake JIBBIJUG, because we have seen that happen a lot, and it's unfortunate. But what happens, Jibbi, when somebody buys a fake JIBBIJUG? What happens in your world?
To be honest with me, when I create the JIBBIJUGs, I'm actually the first one who launched a very quality spout in the market, and I work very hard for it. It's super difficult. It's like I have to draw 3D art. I have to invest my own money. We have to do prototype. We have to create the mold, which is very expensive, and we do so many mold and testing. The handle it has been a very hard work, and it took me 1 to 2 years to build all this. At the end of the day, if you're gonna copy my job and sell it cheaper, I accept it, because at the end of the day, every product will have a copy me products, but without the logo. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, okay, if you copy without the logo, it's okay. But this time, I know that organizations that not only copy my brand, it's another 4 or 5 brands, maybe from America, maybe they not even know. It's kind of like, I think they're more like a criminal, because when you actually put the bird on the actual jugs, and someone maybe buy it overseas because it's cheaper. Of course, it have to be cheaper because they don't need to ship, and they not use a new mold. They can make it similar. But the quality, the alignments and everything, the design, it doesn't match. When people doesn't know it's a fake one and they use it, they can write down the review everywhere, and they may thought the jug is not very good, and the quality, and so that will reflect my brand somehow in a very negative way, or maybe in a good way. But I don't think it's fair that people can steal your intellectual property this way. Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is people are going to copy. That's the nature of this. They're going to copy it. Yeah. You just don't want the copies associated with your brand, because with copying, because they're not putting the product development investment the way that you did, their product is going to be inferior. Their product is going to be made with cheaper metals. They're going to have cheaper molds. The alignment of the product isn't going to be producing the same result as what yours is. And because of that, you're happy, like you just accept that there's going to be copies, but the copy isn't going to give the same result. And so just don't use the Jibbi Little or JIBBIJUG brand if you're going to copy. And the ramifications to the customer. I mean, I've seen people on social media that have tagged you with their product, and it's clearly a fake. So that hurts your brand, but how does it hurt them as a customer?
I think maybe they really want to support me, like they really want to buy JIBBIJUGs, and maybe they search to the website, and the bad guy, what they do is they pay the Google ad. I didn't pay. So they pay the Google ad. Customer will went to the Google ad first, and they see the big difference in price. For customer, they didn't know this is fake because they look exactly the same.
But really, don't they know? I have to stop you there, because I think if somebody for somebody to claim that they don't know that there's a difference, I think they know, Jibbi. I mean, when there's such a difference price, right? Like, we have to call it out here. If somebody really does want to support your brand, and I encourage everybody to support entrepreneurs that really do put the work in to make the craft of coffee better. Sara Al-Ale, who is a deep personal friend of mine, the host of the Middle East podcast for Map It Forward, and the owner of that, she just bought a whole bunch of Jibbi jugs. And her comment was, listen, nothing compares to them. Nothing compares to them. And she spent a small fortune on them, but she stands by her choice. She bought all gold jugs to match the branding of the cafe, and she swears by them. It just wasn't even, first of all, she wanted to support your business, and second of all, she wanted to make sure that she had the best. And just for a disclaimer, Jibbi is not a sponsor of this podcast. This is not me blowing Jibbi's horn or anything like that for anything other than I have watched her start this brand from the beginning. I have watched her work her ass off. I have watched her contribute genuinely to make the Australian specialty coffee industry a better place, not just for this generation, but for the people who are coming up. Jibbi genuinely cares that the quality of professionals in the coffee industry have access to the best. And so I really don't believe that people who want to support your brand don't know that they're buying a fake. Do you?
No, I believe that they 100% know. But because now the Me Too product or the fake, the counterfeit can copy, look exactly like even the box.
They think there's no real difference.
I think in terms of customer, they think it would be 80%. But most of them, if you are my customer, I telling you, never have one that only white banjak. Mostly they come back. Why I'm sure for this? Because I'm the one who pack, and I read all, we have a history, so we know who buys and who not buy.
Right.
After 6 months, they will buy more. And most of customer will have 1 or 2 jugs, range of jugs. And I believe in my products because I think it's worth it for the money, and it never expensive. Trust me, because like when I create one little thing like this, I know it's gonna work for with pattern and with cup. Why it have to have a certain way? Because I taste everything. So I taste more than 1,000 times, 10 million times, or whatever. I do every single day. I pour a lot. So I know that the handle gonna suit Asian type, Western type, and even the handle need to be pressed here or here or here. How it different? Everything is being things a lot. You just choose the right job for you. It's a lot of hard work, and it's not expensive at all. And JIBBIJUG is limited. This one you cannot buy anywhere anymore. It's sold out. It has finished.
So you do specific runs.
Yes.
This is how many you're gonna do, and that's it. It's done.
Yes, that's it. No, at first not like that, but once we start have a Me Too or copy or counterfeit product, so it's come like, okay, they can copy me. They can do A grade. Like when they do a luxury brand, you have exactly the same bag, look the same. They can copy you tomorrow, exactly the same. So I already knew that gonna happen with me, but they cannot be me. They cannot be Jibbi. That's why I need to be creative all the time, be innovative all the time. That's why I have so many series. Even them, they cannot catch me up because they would confuse by now. We have 20 series. Which one they're gonna copy? Which ones they don't know? Yeah, things like that. That's why we try so much to try that, to make them not copy very, very easily. First, we did this. Very easy to copy, right?
Jibbi's, for anyone who's just listening, Jibbi's holding up the packaging from the original Jibbi Little box.
And I changed it to be Jibbi Little. Now still Jibbi Little. That's the second part. Gone as well. This one you will see now as a fake. We don't use it anymore.
Okay, so if
It's
anything
easy
comes
to
out with the pink swan,
No, not pink. Jibbi Little around
it
here.
says Jibbi Little on the bottom. Okay,
Yeah,
right,
because
under the
this
swan.
name is gone, so we don't use it.
Right. So
Now
anything that
next
comes
one,
new onto
yeah.
the market with those things, you
Mhm.
know it's a fake.
Yes, yes, you know it straight away. And this is a second version, very minimalistic, but this is my mistake. If you watch it closely, you will see a lot of like
Right.
this is for protect the fake one. They cannot copy it, but they can make it look similar, only the bird.
Right.
But you
So
cannot see
what Jibbi's holding
the
up,
box.
for those who are just listening, it's a black box with is it pink or is it red?
Red.
It's
Red
a red metallic Jibbi Little swan.
Yes.
But also what you've got on there is
Box. Like UV spot.
It's
Yeah.
there's a QR code, and also
Yeah,
but the
spot,
box is black, and then also there is like a pattern that is in black. It's just a shiny, the box is matte, but the pattern that's on there is shiny, and so it wraps around the box, and so it's kind of a way of protecting.
It's called UV spot. That's
UV
means
spot.
that when you get my box, you already know this is the authentic one. When you copy, you cannot copy because it was obvious, very hard to copy. But this is my mistakes also, because now they don't care about this because they want to copy. Now they put the bird and look similar.
Right, because that's all that people notice. But a big reason we wanted to record these episodes is for two reasons. Is because we want customers and fans of the JIBBIJUG brand, we want you to understand the work that's gone into building this brand and what happens if you buy a fake. Like, you're taking away from Jibbi's capacity to be able to continue the product development. But we also, the second reason is because we don't want you as the customer to miss out. So if we can help raise awareness to the way that you engage with Jibbi's brand, we can help you as the customer win and not feel that you've been ripped off by fakes that don't deliver. And we keep Jibbi's business doing what it needs to be doing, so continuous product development can happen. The third reason we wanted to do this series, and there are obviously more episodes coming, but we want to be encouraging to other entrepreneurs that are out there that have done what Jibbi's done and what I've done with Elixir Specialty Coffee. It can be very discouraging the moment that you have the courage to get out there and innovate and create something that will become world-renowned, and then something goes wrong. Something hugely goes wrong. And, maybe that's what we'll talk about in the next episode. What are some of the big challenges that you don't anticipate as an entrepreneur that can be really gut-wrenching in the entrepreneurial journey? Because it's not all exciting. It is very exciting, and it is very well worth it. But you have to understand it is a hard slog. So that's what we'll talk about in the next episode. And we do really want entrepreneurs that are out there that are perhaps starting off or thinking about going into entrepreneurship. We really want to encourage you into this journey and be as supportive as we can. So let's talk about that in the next episode, Jibbi. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Okay. Peace, love, and peanut butter, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks, friends. If you enjoyed this video, here's what you should check out next. Consider supporting Map It Forward on Patreon, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave.